In His Shadow by meniekeime. Chapter 34. A Trial. Harry's point of view. Victor, stop eating my pasta! I yelled at my beta brother, who was silently eating my whole class assignment. It was May, meaning I had finished Transfiguration and had begun cooking now. But Harry, I'm hungry, Victor whined, putting his finger in the still hot sauce and burning his hand. He got it all over his arm. Alec was laughing together with Linda. Keep laughing, and I will put a whole chili in your tomato sauce. I stirred my sauce a little and was almost ready to strain the pasta when Victor made me grab his burned hand. That big baby was auding me, burning my sauce. Ugh! I ran over the smoking pot, switching off the fire frantically, trying to save my food and the pot. The usual tool to my office, please. I heard the annoyed voice of the headmaster. I groaned, grabbing Victor and hurling him behind me to the headmaster's office, telling Alec to take care of my mess. Why is it, when something happens, it is always Hogwarts? Corner asked, spinning in his chair like a kid. What is it, headmaster? Victor asked, now in full adult mode. The older man stopped spinning and folded his hands on the table. Draco Malfoy got arrested. He is facing trial for murder and illegal pursuing. What? I yelled. Draco would never kill someone. And why would he need to sell someone else's body for money? You two are required as witnesses. Victor's eyes hardened. We will be leaving immediately. I'm sure Harry can lead the school's suits. I nodded, gesturing to the suit in the corner of the room. Victor picked it up and shrunk it to my size. We will change on the way. Come, Harry. Now Victor pulled me out of the room to the next Floo power station after he quickly went to his room and grabbed his own suit. We stepped in the fireplace, heading to Ministry of Magic, London. Somehow our clothes changed during the ride, and we stepped out looking really professional. I still couldn't understand why they were arresting Draco. Victor put a hand on the small of my back, pulling me close to him, while we wandered the huge building. I noticed how agitated he was, sweating and always adjusting his tie. When we reached the corridor to the courtroom, the first thing I saw was a fairly pregnant Neville, who must have been crying lately. Victor abandoned me, running to Neville, wrapping his arms around him. Is everything okay? Are you hurt? What happened? He kept kissing Neville, not letting him speak. Calm down, big wolf, Neville said, pushing him away. Voldemort attacked the school. Now, Ginny killed Dumbledore because he was a traitor, and Draco went into the Forbidden Forest and killed Voldemort. There were lights everywhere, and they came into the Ravenclaw Tower and began shooting, and I don't know, Victor. So many died, so many are hurt. I don't know if I can do this, Victor. When I close my eyes, I see the lights. I feel so alone and everything, and... He had to take a deep breath. Victor just held him close. I began looking around, suddenly feeling cold. I was confused, too. I didn't know what was going on, either. Where was Draco? Was he alone in a little cell? Why was no one hugging me? Maybe I don't deserve a hug. Maybe that's all was just played. And I was still a bad boy. I should have gone with the Potters. Maybe this would never have happened. Before I could continue a downward spiral, I felt warmth around me. You're safe, my little Harry. There he was. Draco was here with me. He wore a suit with handcuffs on his wrist. Behind him was his father, and there were Luna and Pansy. There were Ginny and an Omega I saw, Vince and Greg, then I saw Blaze. His right sleeve was empty, and I expected to see a bandage on his arm when he turned to me, but there was nothing. Don't stare, Harry. He's having a hard time accepting it. Draco whispered, holding me close. I focused on Draco again, seeing that his face was bruised. You hurt. What happened? I asked, touching his face lightly. My mate gave me a small smile and kissed me. I'm not hurt. Some minor bruising, but it's really nothing. Voldemort attacked. That happened. I made him disappear. I don't want to tell you the details. I'm not ready yet. I nodded, understanding, rubbing his arm. Why are they saying you murdered someone and that you pimp? I don't know. This morning, Aura stormed into the Great Hall while we were still bringing the hurt to St. Mungo's. They arrested me and Jenny, and the others are here as witnesses. This is all so rushed and irrational. he replied. I nodded again, looking at the ground, but Draco pulled my face up. Please, listen to me, honey. If I'm spoken guilty, I want you to follow my father. I have put some of my fortune aside. He will lead you to it. It's enough for you, Neville, and your parents to leave the country and build a new life in Bulgaria. If they are coming after me, they are not far away from attacking you two. Okay? I was so hurt inside, but I didn't know why. But if you're found guilty, then you won't get the job in the ministry, and they will put you in jail, and I won't see you for a long time. I don't know, Draco. I don't know. I shouted at him, already sobbing and clinging to his suit. Draco was about to say something when a man dressed in black left the courtroom. Next, Geneva Molly Weasley for murder, and Draco Malfoy for murder and illegal prosecuting. Please enter. The witnesses, please wait outside. Draco sighed and looked at me. Everything will be fine. He gave me a kiss on the forehead and went to the other man, turning to Ginny, who was still talking to her Omega. You have to stay here, Colin. I'll be right back, yeah? Everything will be fine. She kissed the charm on his collar and followed Draco into the courtroom. Victor was fussing on Neville, even though he gave me numerous looks now and then. I really wanted to talk to Neville, but I understood that the two needed time for themselves. I looked to the polymorphous group, seeing how Vince was clinging to Blaze, who was rubbing Greg's shoulder. The latter had put his head on Blaze's heart. Luna was wrapping Pansy's foot slowly, whispering healing spells. I was mesmerized by your technique. Or maybe my soul had temporarily left my body, but I didn't notice the time flying by. First, the trio was called in, then Pansy and Luna, then Ray and the people. At last, Neville was to go in, but he wouldn't leave without Victor, so I was left alone. After I assured Victor that I was fine, even though I wasn't, I was sitting on the bench waiting. Harry Potter? The man in black said. It's Harry Black, sir, I said to him, standing up and entering the courtroom. There's a big jury in front of the room, and many people were sitting to the right. They must be the other witnesses. Draco and Ginny were sitting to the left, Draco's father with them. Please sit down, Mr. Potter, the judge said. God damn it. I'm Harry Black. B-L-A-C-K. Not that hard to spell, was it? I took a seat in the middle of the room, meant for actual witnesses. Victor was also sitting there. Mr. Potter, I will read out information and you will conform. I nodded, kneading my hands together. Your full name is Harry Potter. You were born on the 31st of July, 1980, at the St. Mungo's Hospital. Your status is Omega, and you are married to Draco Malfoy. My full name is Harry Black. I was adopted a year ago. The rest is correct, yes. You know that in a courtroom, all your statements have to be true. Any false statements will result in a penalty. Yes, Your Honor. I felt myself starting to sweat. So, the intendant is, under other things, arrested of illegal partying. Are you aware of that? Yes, I am. How long have you been seeing the accused before your first mating? He has been courting me for a year, Your Honor. Did he ever buy you presents that were out of his budget? Wear clothes that didn't fit his momentary financial situation? No, Your Honor. As far as I know, Mr. Malfoy is from a rich family without financial problems. Did he indicate having other strange relationships to other Omegas? Not that I know. Thank you, Mr. Black. I wiped the sweat from my forehead, drying my hands on my trousers. Mr. Crumb, since when has Mr. Malfoy been selling Mr. Longbottom to you? What? Victor May had big eyes, too. I'm sorry, this must be a mistake. I have been courting Mr. Longbottom for around 3 years before we made it this December. I didn't never give Mr. Malfoy money in exchange to be with my mate. Victor showed him his mating mark, and he was angry. Like, did shit angry. You're aware that you have done nothing wrong, as consummating the services of a prostitute provided is not illegal. Your Honor, could you please not call my mate a prostitute? He was not been sold for sexual pleasure to me. As far as I know, he was a virgin when we had our first intercourse. I wanted to gag. These talks made me uncomfortable. Your Honor, Mr. Black is clearly uncomfortable with the questions you have been asking him, and Mr. Crumb is far too enraged by your inappropriate questions. Lord Malfoy interfered, giving the judge a sharp look. These questions are necessary, Mr. Malfoy. I understand that it must be hard to grasp that your son is a murderer of Tom Reynolds, and excuse my language, a pimp. Now, would you please sit down? Wait, are we here because Draco murdered Voldemort? Quick, I had to come up with something. I studied the English wizarding law together with my dad to find loopholes to get father found ultimately not guilty. Man, it was on my tongue. Why couldn't I grasp it? Wait. When the witness has said anything, I jump up, setting the jobs in his track. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but are we still under military war law because this is a war situation? I asked him and he nodded, unsure of what I wanted to tell him. Article 33 in the Special Law of Nations for International Magic War from 1780 states that during an attack, a soldier is allowed to eliminate any member of the enemy's troops that are attacking as long as it helps the attack or the battle that is happening at the moment. The man nodded. But wait, Mr. Malfoy and Miss Weasley did Curly. A cough was heard from the jury. A woman clad in pink held her hand up. Your Honor, the boy is right. Minister Dumbledore and Master Riddle were both members of the enemy troops, as far as witnesses told. Please stop not considering Omega's statements because you feel superior. If not, I, in my position of head secretary of judges, will have to request a new judge. I gave her a small smile, getting a little bit of my hopes back. Is that everything? The judge asked, annoyed, and I nodded. We were told to sit down in the stand while the jury left to consult. I grabbed Victor's hand when Neville was holding his other one. Draco and Ginny got nervous, unsure of the outcome. I looked over at my mate, pulling out my snitch necklace and kissing it. Draco pulled out his, giving it a kiss too. My heart skipped a beat when the jury came back, giving the judge a card so I could read it out loud. I tried to read the pink lady, but she remained cold. I grounded on my bottom lip, scratching my arms. The judge opened the letter, and I could hear the wax still cracking. He pulled out the verdict and looked for some time. Miss Ginevra Weasley is found not guilty because of Article 33 of the Special Law for National and International Magic Wars from 1780. So is Mr. Malfoy. In the accusation of murder. In the accusation of illegal pursuing, Mr. Malfoy is found not guilty because of not enough evidence. End of chapter 34.